Hastings, Lennox and Addington.
The CMHC released May's housing starts, and predictably for this government, the outlook is not good. In Belleville, starts are down over 50 points, and in Toronto, nearly 60%. This minister's staggering ignorance of the plight of everyday Canadians is not surprising when you remember that he's not only stuck up in his ivory tower here in Ottawa, but sitting on a massive $10 million real estate portfolio.
Shame.
Mr. Speaker, why is this housing minister telling young Canadians that home prices don't need to go down? Is he unable or unwilling?
The Honourable Minister of Housing and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On this side of the House, we are well aware of the challenges Canadians have with housing affordability. That's why they elected us to represent them and drive the pace of housing construction in Canada. That's what we will do. That's what we will deliver. We've already delivered on the GST break for first-time home buyers. We're going to take it farther and faster. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable.
Tell that to the young Canadians that cannot afford a home, Mr. Speaker. For a decade, this Liberal government has continuously failed to address housing crisis with solutions. To add insult to injury, they've appointed a minister who has a significant interest in seeing housing prices soaring sky high. Yep. Mr. Speaker, this housing minister is actually part of the problem. Mr. Speaker, how can Canadians actually trust a government that cannot lower housing costs and a minister who has personal interest in keeping prices high and young Canadians in the basement?
Mr. Speaker, Canadians remember when Pierre Poilievre stood in front of a woman's house, a Canadian women's house in Niagara Falls and called it a shack. I remember when Pierre Poilievre stood in this house and called the co-op where I grew up Soviet-style housing. Now, if that wasn't enough, Mr. Speaker, the Conservatives are stigmatizing modern, modular, affordable housing as shipping containers. Mr. Speaker, these Conservatives have voted against every single measure to support lower-income families to be able to access affordable housing. And, Mr. Speaker, it's people like me that grew up in the type of housing that those Conservatives want to insult. That's pretty ironic, given that, despite not getting re-elected, Mr. Speaker, Pierre Poilievre continues to live in taxpayer-funded